Have you ever dreamed of tackling rough terrain with your 4x4? Now, imagine this turning into a real mechanical nightmare. In this video, we will reveal the 20 worst 4x4 engines ever made. Prepare yourself for stories of catastrophic failures, frustrations, and the cruel reality of vehicles that should be robust but become walking bombs. Stay with us and find out which engines are best to stay away from if you love off-road adventures. We start our list at number 20, Chrysler 2.7 LV6. Introduced in the 1990s, Chrysler's 2.7 LV6 engine met with mixed acceptance. Although it promised performance, it would soon become notorious for its recurring failures, leaving many drivers disappointed and frustrated. With an aluminum block and heads, this engine looked promising, but it hid a major problem: a faulty lubrication system. A recipe for misfortune, especially for 4x4 enthusiasts. This engine had the infamous habit of failing even before reaching 100,000 kilometers. Under heavy use, many have already dubbed it a walking bomb, a real nightmare for those hoping for off-road adventures. The criticism was relentless, mainly due to the accumulation of dirt in the lubrication system, which resulted in premature failures. Drivers were perplexed. How could such a promising engine be so problematic? At number 19, Land Rover 3.0 LV6. Launched in 2005, Land Rover's 3.0 LV6 engine quickly became infamous. With a reputation tarnished by mechanical problems, many owners felt betrayed as they dreamed of adventures that never came to pass due to constant failures. With just 612cc and 24 valves, this engine looked promising, but it was a real walking bomb. Prone to overheating, many drivers wondered if their trust had been misplaced in choosing this model. The reports are alarming. Internal components failing after 80,000 km. This means that the adventure on the road ended sooner than expected, leaving many on foot and with high costs in workshops. This V6 engine was one of the main responsible for the increase in Land Rover's maintenance costs. What should have been a symbol of robustness became a nightmare for owners who expected much more from this icon. At number 18, Nissan 3.5 liters V6. The Nissan 3.5 LV6, an engine that made history for its popularity, but was also marked by tragic oil pump failures and overheating. Surprisingly, this much-loved engine brought many nightmares to owners. Despite its SOHC design, which promised efficiency, the engine hides a dark side: fragile components that often don't stand the test of time. Thus, fans were disappointed with its performance over long distances. Numerous owners reported problems even before reaching 150,000 km. Can you imagine the frustration of someone who bought a 4x4 looking for adventure and ended up in the workshop? This engine has become a real burden for many. Used in several models, the Nissan 3.5 LV6 frequently appeared on Market Week lists. This engine's reputation was so ruined that it earned the infamous title of walking bomb among mechanics. At number 17, Toyota 3.0 LV6 1KZA. The Toyota 3.0 LV6 1KZA was an icon of the 90s, but its mechanical flaws turned a dream into a nightmare. Who would have thought that such a popular engine would become synonymous with frustration for so many drivers? Although it is a turbodiesel engine, its propensity for cylinder heads to break has made it blacklisted. Imagine being on an off-road ride and suddenly hearing that ominous noise. Without a doubt, a potential disaster for any adventurer. Users have reported constant problems, especially off-road where this engine is supposed to shine. Instead, it became a source of headaches, leaving many in the mud. Literally, what was supposed to be fun turned into a mechanical nightmare. Among enthusiasts, the 1KZA is considered a real bomb. Its disappointing performance in scenarios requiring power and endurance has caused many to despise it, making it a feared name in the off-road world. At number 16, Isuzu 3.0L Turbo Diesel. The Isuzu 3.0L Turbo Diesel, used in pickup trucks and 4x4s, faced a barrage of complaints about its durability. Owners were not just dissatisfied, they were frustrated seeing their engines fail early. Although it has a common design, the engine hides a fatal problem: overheating. This just leaves 4x4 enthusiasts with a bitter taste in their mouths. What type of 4x4 engine has this type of failure? Many reports indicate that these engines failed just after 120,000 km. This makes them not only a nightmare for mechanics, but also for owners who expected a long life of adventure. The Isuzu 3.0L became infamous, especially in the first few generations. Everyone knows it's a problematic engine, and some people even call it a walking bomb. It's time to avoid this trap on your next purchase. At number 15, Mitsubishi 2.5L Diesel. The Mitsubishi 2.5L Diesel may have been a popular choice among enthusiasts, but the truth is that its list of problems never stops growing, leaving many drivers frustrated and disillusioned. With a seemingly simple design, the reliability of this engine is often questioned. Drivers expect robust performance, but often find themselves dealing with unexpected issues. Reports of significant failures begin to emerge after reaching 100,000 km. Considered a boogeyman by many, these engines can leave owners in the lurch, wondering why they didn't avoid this choice. If you think you're going to have a reliable engine, think again. Many drivers wish they had avoided the Mitsubishi 2.5L diesel after the first 50,000 miles, which are always a roller coaster of problems. At number 14, Ford 5.4L Triton V8. The Ford 5.4L Triton V8 may be an American classic, but it can't escape criticism. With so much potential, many expected more, but its flaws made it the subject of heated discussions among engine enthusiasts. Equipped with SOHC technology, the Triton was supposed to be an engineering marvel, but it failed to prove itself as a reliable engine. Your problems make drivers suspicious, and this distrust is not for nothing. Reports of ignition problems frequently arise before 100,000 kilometers. It's frustrating to know that an engine with so much potential can disappoint early in its life, leaving its owners in the lurch. Despite its enduring reputation, the 5.4L Triton V8's persistent flaws land it on this list. In the world of 4x4 engines, being remembered for problems is not the best way to immortalize a name. At number 13, Chevrolet 4.3 litros V6. The Chevrolet 4.3L V6 stood out not for its power, but for its cylinder head flaws. Owners were always looking for solutions, but what they really needed was a reliable engine. Despite its simplicity, the 4.3 liters feet-seconds list of catastrophic failures is impressive. From electrical problems to oil leaks, this engine always seemed to be on the verge of complete meltdown. Many drivers were disappointed by poor drag performance and constant overheating. With so many problems, it's easy to understand why it makes the list of worst engines. Recognized as one of Chevrolet's worst engines, the 4.3 liters V6, despite its simple design, earned the bad reputation of being a walking bomb, leaving many mechanics with their hair on end. At number 12, Subaru 2.5 liters Turbo. The Subaru 2.5 liters Turbo stands out in high-performance models, but don't let that fool you. Known for sealing issues, it can turn your adventure into a nightmare. Do you really want to risk your experience? This boxer engine is efficient but often fails. With a design that was supposed to be innovative, many drivers have encountered issues that have made it more of a headache than a pleasure to drive. Failures in critical components are not a rarity, with breakdowns appearing even before reaching 120,000 km. These engines have more dark secrets than you might think, and many drivers have already paid the price. Have you heard the reports? Catastrophic failures that ruin the driving experience. It's almost a tradition for some drivers to change it even before their first big trip. Get ready, the walking bomb is back. At number 11, Dodge 5.7L Hemi. The Dodge 5.7L Hemi is known for its reputation for outsized power, but this reputation hides behind a series of mechanical problems. Could it be that its true strength lies in its durability, or are we just seeing an impressive facade? This engine generated a lot of controversy, especially due to valve failures. Cars that were supposed to be robust machines have now become causes for concern. Did you know that these problems caused many nightmares for their owners? Surprisingly, many users are shocked to realize that faults begin to appear after just 80,000 km. It's a hard blow for anyone who expected lasting performance. How can you trust an engine that seems to have such a low limit? Despite its immense fame, the Hemi engine does not stand out when it comes to durability. In pursuit of power, many owners realized too late that what seemed like a dream on wheels quickly became a mechanical nightmare. At number 10, GM 6.0 LV8. The GM 6.0 LV8 was used in several models of trucks and SUVs. Unfortunately, the promised durability has become more like an unfulfilled promise. leaving many drivers on the road worried about unexpected breakdowns. GM engineers tried to improve the efficiency of an engine that was already having problems, but did they succeed? The truth is that efforts to optimize often only result in frustration for drivers. After just a few years of use, the 6.0 liters V8 began to fail, leading drivers to question their choices. Many became fierce critics, calling it a paper engine. Between reports of catastrophic failures and disastrous experiences, GM 6.0 LV8 owners have stories that make you shiver. Careful, these reports are a clear warning for anyone thinking about investing in this engine. At number 9, GMC 5.3 LV8. The GMC 5.3 LV8 may look attractive on paper, but many drivers have discovered otherwise when experiencing serious failures. The promise of power turns into a nightmare when you actually start using this engine in difficult terrain. Prepare for headaches. With engineering that prioritizes simplicity, the GMC 5.3 LV8 does not deliver the expected durability. Remember that sometimes the basics are not the best. Instead, many drivers end up constantly dealing with problems that could have been avoided. The results are disastrous. The engine performs increasingly worse after 150,000 kilometers. What was once an exciting adventure now becomes a test of patience. This engine becomes a walking bomb, and why you should think twice before embarking on this trip. GMC 5.3L owners have many more sad stories than happy ones. What should be a reliable companion turns into a burden. Almost everyone has reports of breakdowns and expensive repairs, a real roller coaster of emotions in the world of 4x4 seconds. At number 8, Fiat 2.8L Diesel. The Fiat 2.8L Diesel arrived with great promises, but soon showed its serious flaws. Their attempt to conquer the market turned into a nightmare, leaving many owners frustrated and mechanics exhausted. With an impressive design, the engine had everything it needed to be a success, but technically it was lacking in many areas, proving that sometimes looks can be deceiving. The problem started after the first few kilometers. Finding a Fiat 2.8L that can reach 100,000 kilometers is almost an impossible mission. Many drivers gave up hope, adopting a look of despair as they heard the sound of the engine failing at every turn. Mechanics often cross their fingers when working on this engine. Every repair feels like Russian roulette. Today might be a good day, but tomorrow might make you want to cry as you see problems cropping up again. At number 7, Toyota 4.0 LV61GR Fe. The Toyota 4.0 LV61GR Fe is known for its robustness, but it is not perfect. Many mechanics claim that, despite its reputation for being durable, it hides shortcomings that can make even the most ardent fans think twice before choosing it. Considered a classic by brand lovers, the 1GR Fe has a dark side: sealing failures. Many drivers have reported leaks, leaving owners with more worries than they bargained for when purchasing a Toyota. Anyone who thinks that maintenance is simple is wrong. Problems in the lubrication system surprisingly arise before 100,000 km. This makes many wonder, is the reputation for reliability just an illusion? Despite the flaws, Toyota fans still defend the 1GR Fe as a solid engine. They say tradition and reliability trump concerns, navigating a sea of controversial opinions where love for the brand still prevails. At number 6, Mazda 2.2L Diesel. The Mazda 2.2L Diesel started out with the promise of being a robust engine, but it didn't take long for failures to become constant. Its performance was so tarnished that many drivers began to fear its reliability on the road. Although the design was simple and attractive, this engine proved to be extremely susceptible to problems. Technical challenges were common, making it a nightmare for anyone expecting a smooth and reliable driving experience. Scary stories circulate among owners. Many report that the Mazda 2.2L Diesel cannot even reach 80,000 kilometers without presenting serious problems. For many, this is enough to turn their backs and look for more reliable alternatives. Because of its disappointing track record, the Mazda 2.2L Diesel has become a choice of last resort. For drivers looking for a sturdy 4x4, this engine can only be seen as a trap that should be avoided at all costs. At number 5, BMW 3.0L Turbo Diesel. The BMW 3.0 liters turbo diesel failed to maintain its image of reliability, surprising even the brand's most ardent fans. An engine that should offer power and quality but left many on the road disappointed. Despite its attractive design, injection failures are a common nightmare with this engine. Owners reported problems that turned this machine into a real challenge on the streets. Even before completing 100,000 kilometers, performance began to disappoint. An engine that promised greatness but delivered only frustration. Would you have the courage to trust him completely? This engine continues to be a controversial topic among BMW fanatics. Heated arguments break out at fan club meetings, with many defending his honor, while others consider him a huge disappointment. At number 4, Jaguar 4.2 LV8. The Jaguar 4.2 LV8 is an icon, but don't let the beauty of its design fool you. This engine has struggled with vexing sealing problems that have left many drivers frustrated. He attracted looks, but not trust. With a breathtaking appearance, the Jaguar 4.2 LV8 had serious reliability problems. Famed for its charm, it quickly became a nightmare for those expecting performance and durability. After more than 50,000 km, many users began to notice what seemed to be a key feature: recurring failures. The Jaguar 4.2 LV8 has become an example that beauty does not always guarantee strength and endurance over time. Brokenness, abandonment, and despair. These were the common feelings among the owners. Many reported unhappy experiences, turning the dream of owning a Jaguar into a true mechanical nightmare. Now, we come to our top 3 on our list. Porsche 3.0 L Turbo. The Porsche 3.0 L Turbo promised emotion and robustness, but this engine ended up disappointing even the most fanatical. Expectations were high, but those who expected performance found only frustration on the trails. Although it is a mechanical marvel, chronic failure highlighted the great paradox of this engine. With so many advances, how could something so promising fail so often? It's a mystery that leaves enthusiasts scratching their heads. After a few years of use, problems arose. For many, the Porsche 3.0 L Turbo turned into a nightmare that didn't stand the test of time. Like a house of cards, it collapsed when needed most. The debate about the 3.0 L Turbo among those passionate about the brand is intense. It's a motor that divides opinions. Hero or villain? Aficionados can't seem to come to a consensus, and this controversy only makes it more intriguing. At number 2, Mercedes-Benz 3.0 L Diesel. The Mercedes-Benz 3.0 L Diesel became famous for its injection problems, putting the brand in serious trouble. Luxury cars, but with engines that left many drivers in the lurch. Would you ever take a chance on such a problematic volume? Developed with complex engineering, this engine turned into a true technical nightmare. Every part seemed to have been made to complicate the mechanics' lives. Like a puzzle you can't solve. After about 80,000 km, many users reported serious failures. These engines have left more than one owner on the road, attracting the attention of those who usually trust the automaker's stars. And what would you do in this situation? As drivers faced problems, company directors watched nervously, recognizing the engine's questionable quality. Imagine the pressure, knowing that one mistake could tarnish the reputation of one of the most iconic brands in the automotive world. And now, first on our list, Renault 1.9 L Diesel. The Renault 1.9 L Diesel is often cited as one of the worst engines of all time, known for recurring failures that frustrate even the most patient drivers. Prepare for trouble if you have one of these under the hood. This engine has an old design that may look simple, but it hides serious design problems. A lack of innovation has resulted in their inability to keep up with modern expectations for performance and reliability. Unfortunately, many of these engines break down after just 60,000 kilometers, turning dreams of off-road adventure into mechanical nightmares. In short, this engine is a real fiasco that should not have reached the market. Mechanics often avoid the Renault 1.9 L Diesel at all costs. It is known for being a headache, representing a challenge that few are willing to take on. For them, it is better to stay away from this walking bomb. What's up, guys? We've reached the end of our list of the 20 worst 4x4 engines ever made. We hope you had fun and learned more about these walking bombs. Which of these engines is your favorite? Or do you know of any other engines that should be on this list? Leave your opinion in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more incredible content like this. And don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss any news. Until next time.